From Dubai, today comes Shirley Doran, the head of Relocation and Immigration Department in Executive Expatriate Relocations, EER. EER was founded in 2005. They are full members of reputed international associations such as EuRA, TIRA, Worldwide ERC, and they are the only company in the Middle East to hold the EuRA Global Quality Seal. Their services portfolio comprises classic destination services, immigration and visa support, as well as corporate services such as company formation and business setup. What is your superpower, Shirley?
Hamad, yes, my superpower, wow. I would say that I'm absolutely passionate about customer support and customer service. I believe in, going the extra mile and trying to do the best that we possibly can. And I believe that you get that from giving your teams the right tools to move forward, to give the clients that high level of service. But, on the other side, I'm actually quite balanced. On the other side, I'm very supportive of my team. So even though on one hand, I'm very customer focused, I believe that, if your team's happy, they'll deliver happiness. And it's a continuation. So I'm pretty balanced. Happy team, happy customer. So yeah.
Super. Shirley, being the head of an entire department, what is that one quality that you're looking for when you hire, on one hand, a relocation consultant and on the other hand, an immigration specialist, let's say? Because we have two profiles and two different types of people.
Exactly. I think for me personally and professionally, initiative. I think initiative, if you have, our work's very specialized and, you don't just, I think most people I've ever spoken to in my career, nobody sets out to be a relocation immigration person. You kind of fall into it somehow. And, I think if you have initiative and you can take ownership of something, I think that is probably 70% of the job. Especially immigration. You get situations where nothing is clear, it's a little bit gray. So if you've got initiative and you can go out and actually do some research, I think people that have initiative, get in the car, go and find out something when they don't know something about a specific question. I think that is basically what makes a good person in our industry. I think initiative for me and taking ownership of the work you do is vital. When we interview our staff and anybody coming to join our company, we ask them, what companies do you aspire to in the world? So is it a branded company? So, and we ask them what their values are, and we try in the questions align our values with the person that we're interviewing, so that we can see that their values actually match ours, and that's really important. And I think you'd enjoy this. Recently, we interviewed someone, and we were going great guns. It was a great interview, and we thought, geez, this is just flying, and this person's really... And then we asked them, why do you want to join our company? And their answer was, because I'd like to take your offer letter to my company and see if they'll give me a higher salary. So obviously we didn't hire that person, and that person was not the person for us. But, it's about what you ask them, and if your values actually align, and we're very strong about our values. We've got them plastered all over the office. So, yes, I would say those are the things that we look for.
What is that main pitfall that you usually warn relocating expatriates to UAE about?
The driving.
Driving.
I think when people arrive here, and if they're not driving themselves, they think, gee, how am I ever going to navigate these roads? There's lots of byways and highways and one-ways and off-ramps, but it can be a bit aggressive, and you have to drive defensively. The other thing is the weather. Obviously, your first summer here is quite a shock. But then you get winter and at the moment, and it's beautiful and crisp and lovely outside, and you kind of forget. And then the real estate market. So I would say there's a couple of things. The real estate market is like no other in the world. We are an ex-population. A lot of our landlords actually live outside the country. So those type of things can be hard to navigate. You know, and then on the immigration side, you know, married, do you have a marriage certificate? Have you adopted children? Do you have stepchildren that need to be incorporated as well? And there's lots of different documents, attested documents. So there are a couple of things, but, you know, on the whole, at the end of the day, everybody settles in. And I think as long as you don't compare cities, no place is the same. I can't compare Paris to London. I can't compare Dubai to Cape Town. And, you know, people do that because they, oh, you know, where we are in Cape Town, we have this, this. But yeah, those are the few things, you know, I'd say overall, it's that bad. I mean, every city has its challenges.
What is that one thing that you learned never to do as a manager?
Never to ask somebody to do something that I can't. You know, obviously I've done everything.
Yes,
I've
but
been on the road.
You can't possibly do everything, right?
No, no, listen, I'm terrible at an Excel spreadsheet, so I can honestly put my hand up and say I'm not very good at that. But I am the type of person that if I feel that I can't do something, I would never expect it of another person. But I feel that if I don't know something, I will get in my car, go find out, I will investigate it, and then I feel that everybody can do that. Obviously, I know this job backwards because I've been on the road, I've been in office, I've had a global role, I've had local roles, and I've managed a few teams. So I think that is the one thing, you know, I would never ask somebody to do something that I personally would not want to do or could not do.
Aside from the smartphone, what would be the other gadget that you can't live without?
Probably my laptop. I'm a bit obsessed. Even when I go on holiday, I have to keep up to date with my emails, which is not very good, I know. And as I get older, I try to balance that out. And a good book, to be honest. I'm not very tech savvy. I don't have a Kindle, but I love reading. And at night, when I switch off from everything, I always have a good book next to me.
If you hadn't chosen this career path, what else would you have chosen?
To be honest, I always wanted to be a social worker. I realized that I'd probably have about 3,000 adopted children and babies by now, because I have such a soft spot when people are not housed or family, you know. So I think this job suits me really well because I kind of get the best of both. I love helping people, but in a way where they find their own home and I don't have to adopt them. So I think social working would have been a little bit more stressful mentally. But yeah, I think my job actually does have a little bit of psychology involved with it when we relocate families and we deal their emotional status. So I'm probably in the next best thing that I could possibly, or role that I could possibly be in.
Thank you very much, Shirley.
Thank you.